Hello YouTube, Message in a Bottle here with another video. This time I want to discuss why I made that video because there was so much things that I wanted to say that I felt like despite that I made a hour video and despite I made another video clarifying what I wanted to say, I feel like it wasn't enough and this video is basically back to that particular person, but this time it's not going to be directly to her, but more like directly to the audience, to you guys that are listening. And this probably will might be my last video talking about it, but I will make in the future video and in the near future I'll whenever I make videos I'll probably make reference about it here and there. But yeah, definitely I'm not gonna no longer touch in that subject of what happened in the past, but what I want to discuss here in this video is why I made this video. The main reason why, and it's practically the same what I'm trying to say in my last video, is that a lot of guys they want to believe that happy ending. A lot of guys want to believe that a girl is gonna be loyal to them and stay with them through thick and thin. But sadly, time and time over again, sometimes girls they're not that loyal. Sometimes girls are more loyal to their feelings, to their image, to their social status. I know me saying all this makes it sound like I'm trying to defame her or make her look terrible, but here's the issue, guys. Time and time and again, we've been exposed by female nature. Throughout my YouTube video, I never advocate any hatred towards women. I never like I the best way I could say this the best way I could say this is essentially this. It's I don't really hate anybody. The problem is in real life, down boots in the ground, when you're out there on your own, you're gonna meet bad apples here and there. And when you do meet bad apples, you'll notice that these people they like to justify why they're being bad. They like to justify why they're the way there is. And you know what? I'm gonna say that's nothing wrong with it, but the problem is sometimes people they don't have that self awareness where they admit what they're doing is wrong. And I see this in women, especially women. And when I was growing up, I've seen basically one sided argument, which is my mother trying to justify what she was doing against my biological father. And eventually my biological father he has to leave because he realized that my mother got the law on her side. She got the court on her side, and me as a basically a child who was basically helpless in the situation, I ended up witnessing just one side of the argument, not both sides of the argument. And to be fair, there are some credits in my mother's side of the argument, but it was still one sided. Same thing could be said with many stories of women, why they cheat on their husband, why they destroy their husband financially, legally, and even socially. And what I kind of find it very heartbreaking, but most importantly, what I kind of find very baffling when I see women do this is why on earth they invest their time, emotion, and most importantly, why they keep that illusion with a man that they're attracted to. What I'm trying to say here, guys, and this is something I kind of struggle to spit it out, but I'll spit it out just for the sake of clarity of what I want to say throughout my YouTube channel. Sometimes women they will go on a date with a man that they don't find attractive, and for some reason, I'm constantly wondering why. Why do they go on a date with a man that they don't find attractive? And the saddest part is, on the guy sides, men like to think that this is not true. Like a woman should be with a man that they're attracted to. So a woman should be honest when it comes to dating with a man. But what's funny is that we're living in a time where a woman has zero obligation to be with somebody. So, and yet they still do that. They still do it. That shenanigan that happened to me back there, it kind of was an eye opener of why that happened. And when I look on that guy's social media, I realized why she was doing that. She was doing that because the guy he had he's from a family that has money. That's all I gotta say. He's definitely a guy that has money. But the problem is that guy he's also a mama's boy, and I kind of see him a little meek, and it explains so much. It explains so much about it. But at the same time, I have a gut feeling that she's with him because of that reason, not because of the attraction. Me, I was basically the individual that she was eyeing on, that she finds me attractive. But the reason why she was looking at the other guy and dating him is because of that social status. Now, me personally, I not that there's a lot of things I want to say here, but I'm trying my best not to sound vulgar here. But me personally, I don't really find myself attractive. I don't find myself good looking. At best, I'm like a 5 out of 10. But what I saw in her, she was definitely like responding as if she was meeting a superstar. And those response, I'll never forget how her eyes dilate towards me, how she made a smile that it looks like her face was about to shatter just by smiling. Like, it's very hard to explain, guys, but it's a type of smile when a girl's madly in love. And I saw that in her, and it was directed towards me, not to the other guy that she was dating. The other guy, when he saw that, when he saw how she was looking at me, he was devastated and he wanted to break up with her, which, in my opinion, that was the right thing to do. But for some reason, she insisted on staying on the relationship with him. And my guess is they probably had makeup. Well, I'm not trying to say vulgar terms here, but they probably sleep with each other as a makeup. And I think that it convinced him enough to stay in a relationship with her. But more importantly, I'm constantly wondering why she never said anything towards me, because she keeps doing that behind his back for almost a year. And that right there, guys, is where I started falling down the rabbit hole. And I realized that this is way more common than people realize. And this video, guys, is basically me explaining why I'm making this message video. The message video is not just for her, but it's just for the younger audience because, first of all, I'm an older guy, so I'm no longer a teenager. That's, you know, that's something that a reality that I accept. I'm no longer a young guy. I'm practically aging. I'm becoming older. So, to my younger audience, just remember, be honest with yourself and look out for things that, you know, it's a huge red flags. Even if that red flag is like, you find it attractive, please have some freaking common sense. Please have some awareness of what's going on. Obviously, your coaches, your father figure, anyone that cares about you, obviously they will not be with you 24/7. So you'll come at a point in your life where you gotta make your own decision, and this does include romance. And when you're with a woman, you better make sure that that woman is sincere with you, especially when it comes to attraction. If a woman is with you, but you noticing that a woman is not attracted to you, that's a huge red flag in my book, because that's essentially sending out signal to you that she's with you for other reason. And when I say other reason, I mean everything on the table except that she's attracted to you, that she wants to, have babies with you. In my opinion, guys, if you want a long lasting relationship, the woman has to be attracted to you. She wants to look at, like, she has to be attracted to you, and she has to have that desire as if she wants to have your babies. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people often forget that sometimes women will date a man, be in a relationship with a man, even married to a man long term, that they don't find attractive. And they still doing that to this day. And to me, that's baffling because we're living in an age where a woman is not obligated to do that. And yet we still see that. We still see that to this day. This is why you see a lot of videos of older men. You see a lot of videos of older men telling their failed marriage, telling their failed long term relationship, and they're kind of baffled how their marriage became sexless. They're baffled how a woman that they invested in for like 20 plus years cheated on them behind their back, and it turns out their kids is not theirs. And this is way more common than you guys think. Way more common. And the saddest part is that us men, we tend to put our heads in the sand, and we like to think that the fantasy of happily ever after is going to come true for us. But in my opinion, you could still have that happily ever after. You just have to be vigilant about it. You have to have your options open and be smart about it. It's practically about decision making. That's what it comes to. It's practically life decision making. And one of those decision making is choosing your woman and choosing it carefully. Don't be desperate, guys. I know the dating scene is horrible, but don't be desperate. If you're desperate, you're gonna choose the wrong woman. And when you do choose the wrong woman, it's gonna be hell for you. And this is why I'm making that message video, because it wasn't just for her, it was also for the guy. The guy, I really feel sorry for him. But what's even sadder is when I was talking to the woman's best friend, and her best friend, she realized this. She realized that, okay, first of all, me being the person that she was eyeing on has nothing to do why she was disappointed in her, because first of all, me and her, we were a complete stranger, absolutely complete stranger. We didn't knew much about each other. We did chat it, but at most we chatted for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes overall. But because she was eyeing on me, it kind of revealed like crack in the relationship between her and the guy that she was dating. And her closest friend realized that the crack is essentially revealing something that's kind of messed up. And what this basically is that she realized that she's dating him for other reasons, not because she's attracted to him. And what's kind of funny about it, now that I think about her best friend, who I will not name, she is studying for psychology, for mental health, and she also wants to like help people out in a psychological sense, like a therapist. So she wants to be a therapist. And what I find it funny about the shenanigans that happened back there, when she was listening to my side of the story and when she was listening to the guy's side of the story, and a little story from her, she realized that she's dating him for other reason, but not dating him for attraction. And to me, it makes sense because when I talk to other coworkers, when I talk to other people that knows her, they all find it very odd that when they go out together, she doesn't kiss him. She doesn't show any signs of attraction. And a matter of fact, when I was asking about it, a lot of people were kind of dumbfounded, and a lot of people were kind of like not in disagreement, but more like they don't see it happening. And then when they announced they were together, they were actually genuinely surprised because they did not see that coming. But the main reason why a lot of people have doubts is because they see zero attraction between each other. And her best friend kind of, it took her a while to realize this. It took her a while to realize that she doesn't have real attraction towards him. So first of all, let's take me out of the picture. Her best friend realized that she's dating him for other reasons other than attraction, and that's not going to end well. That relationship is absolutely not going to end well. And me, I agree with her. I have a gut feeling that that relationship will not last long. I'll give it like at best 7 years. 7 years or 5 years, at best 7 years. But something tells me that relationship is not going to last. And most importantly, because I visited the place where we used to work at together. When I visited that place, where we used to work at together, she is still there, and so is the boyfriend. But what's even sadder is that everybody else left except those two. Everybody else, they move on with their life. They got better careers, including myself. I got a better career. I Right now I have a career that pays me to travel, that pays me to get vacation. Literally, I get paid vacation. In that job, you don't. You don't get paid vacation. And I feel very blessed. I'm making more money than before. Same thing with other people that used to work with us in that job. Other people, they moved on. They became nurses. They became therapists, police officer. I was kind of surprised about that. That one of the ex coworker that I used to work with, she became a police officer. And yes, it's a woman. Everybody except him and her. Him and her, they both still work there. They still both making, well, not minimum wage, but slightly above wage since that restaurant's kind of fancy, but still. And what's even sadder is that by the time I left that place, she and the other guy, they've been working there over 6 years. According, I clearly remember the small conversation I had with her. She worked there for like 6 years, but at the time when I questioned her, now I know for a fact that it's been 8 years. And the other dude, same thing, 8 years, but now it's 10 years. They almost been working there for literally almost a decade. And just like me, I know they're not no longer young. I have a feeling the guy is younger than her, but she's definitely approaching to her 30s. If not, by the time she watches this video, she's probably already in her 30s already. But this is kind of sad, guys. This is basically wasting your life with the wrong person. And this is basically the message that I'm trying to say to my audience. Do not go down this path. Do not invest in the wrong person. Be honest with yourself. Be honest who you are attracted to. Be honest that you want who you want to spend your life with. Do not spend your life with the wrong person all because he has a fancy house or a fancy car. Like sometimes the grass is greener at the other side, but it seems like it. But the moment when you go to the other side, you realize that there's a lot of shit that that's going on. Well, I think I ranted enough, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say in these videos, what I'm trying to say in this YouTube channel. It's very sad to see a lot of people waste their life away with the wrong person for the wrong reason. If you guys want to see proof of attraction actually maintaining a relationship fantastically in the long run, look no further than the President Ronald Reagan and his wife. Both of them, what they had in common is that they used to date somebody else before they met each other. I think Ronald Reagan was divorced before he met his current wife. And same thing with the wife. The wife, I think she dated some guy, and I think the guy was a handsome actor before meeting Ronald Reagan and marrying him. But the moment when they found each other, they had that attraction, like that true attraction, what a couple should have. And throughout the years of them being together, that attraction was maintained. Even their children's talked about it. They mentioned how close they were each other and how madly in love they were with each other. Sorry guys, I'm kind of vomiting words here. But anyway, the attraction between Ronald Reagan and his wife is a beautiful example of what couples should be, what attraction should look like to each other. Well, guys, I think I ranted enough. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's very sad the world that we live in, especially the fact that I witness a lot of women investing in the wrong guy for the wrong reason, and I have a feeling that was one of them that I witnessed. That's why I got super pissed with her when at the heat of the moment. But well, I guess this is life. I had to move on and I had to forget about her. But for those of you who are watching, please do not walk down this path. I will leave more links, videos about real attraction and you know other content stuff that talks about attraction in terms of dating. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Over and out.